So I thought I'd start having a look at the compression mould rocker, new design. I wanted to try a bit of FEA, basically reenact the forces going to get applied at each pivot point and the shock mount. So that's what I've done here. I've used the data from the linkage package, the 2D software that shows the load. So basically put the suspension at full compression, so that would indicate full loading. I've applied them here approximately in the directions of which they show on the linkage. So I think it says there's about 11,000 newtons that way, about 8,000 newtons that way, and about 18,000 newtons that way. I'll show you the results. Obviously this is exaggerated. It's trying to bow the whole of the rocker upwards at that. This is the displacement, showing a max displacement of 0.046 mil. Isn't too bad. That's pretty much negligible. And it also exaggerates sort of what it's trying to twist by twisting and pushing those in. I guess in the real case, when you've got the pivot bolts and everything mounted in place, you're going to have extra structure and support from the bolts and the seat stays coming up, so that's a lot less likely to happen. But that sort of made me think maybe I should try and adjust the design a little bit. I'll probably look at doing like a slight sort of V shape up here, because that will transfer the load up a little bit more and it will sort of resist trying to bow like that. So that's what I'm going to try and do, and then see how the results change. So after showing you the design, I've now 3D printed these separate tooling pieces to make the compression mould. I've reduced a lot of the excess material because I was printing solid. It was a long print, a lot of material usage.
So I reduced what I could around the outside just to make it a bit easier, just to prototype. Same goes for these outer edges. These had a sort of edging around them, so I've cut that completely off and just done the inserts effectively. So what I'll probably do is bond those to a bit of flat board or wood to prevent the inserts from going too deep into the tool. I've just taken these two pieces apart. You've got the forward section here where the shock mount goes, and then the rear section here, which is main pivot of the rocker, and then the seat stay pivot there. So now they're printed, I am just going to tidy them up, get them so that they fit together nicely, and then start prepping them for moulding. I will also need to create dowels or find some dowels to fit through the holes and guide into the outer side pieces to mould the bores as well. So I've been busy turning up some inserts and little tooling bits, and also buying some of these alley tubes for the rocker mould. Just getting ready now to give everything a clean, give everything a wax. I'm going to use Miracle Gloss for the alley bits and inserts, and then I've got the RW4 spray match for the printed parts, so I'm just going to do that and then start moulding. It is all clamped up. That was a real big faff. I'm gonna have to come in, tighten that up a few times just to get it to nip up. Hopefully it's worked. I have no idea on this. It's a bit of a dodgy one. And there we are, we've got the moulded part fully demoulded. Just got a bit of broken printed blue bit there, which needs to be removed from the bearing seat. And all this flash needs removing. I guess one thing to note is the gap between the outside tools and the inside tool is slightly too big, which is why there's so much flash come around it. Did mean it fitted easy enough though. Good thing is these big bearing seats have bonded pretty well by the looks of things. I was worried that they might move, but they're in there quite well. A little bit dry, so probably give it a tidy up in a resin wipe. There we are. Okay, so I've tidied it up, looks a lot better now. I've also pressed in the bearings, the rear and the middle ones there. I had an issue with these larger ones where the insert I had was slightly the wrong size, so a bit of extra material I had to grind out, so damaged the shell a little bit. So I've used retaining compound with the bearings, and I've just put in that bolt with that retaining compound to make sure doubly that they're concentric enough. Had to tap it for a little bit, so they're going to be slightly off, but that could just be the way it's been moulded. Yeah, overall it's good. The bearings spin and they're not too tight, not too loose. They had a fair bit of pressure to clamp them in, so I think that's a success. Hopefully that works as the first prototype on the bike.